The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the
The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack, this like no Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
You're muted, my guy. Hello? You're muted. Can you hear me? Oops. This is bad. What's going on, everyone? I think we're having some technical difficulties at the moment, but Scott will be back here in a minute. Yeah, just bear with us one moment while we deal with some technical difficulties today. Mondays, am I right? Oh God, I have the coverage of the national championship game going on right now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little salty. I'm a little salty right now. Oh, that should be us. That should have been Alabama. Calling quarterback draw though is wild. You're muted. Muted. Mondays. This is like the most Monday of Mondays ever. I actually went out to go grab some lunch earlier and I got poured on. So that's how my day's going. This is the team's dropping like flies today. So yeah, we just gotta hold it down. And now I gotta hold it down by myself. I don't know if I can do this. My God, is this what TikTok influencers feel like? They just like talk at a camera.
Okay, are we good now?
No.
All right.
I've been up here
I apologize, yo. This has been
No. I've been I don't know if anyone's even actually like listening to any of this right now.
No, there's people watching.
I've just been talking.
Just know I'm going scorched earth when I get off this motherfucking show today. Just be very, very clear about that. Niggas pissed me off today. So it's gonna be a random ass show. I apologize.
We're
for the
good.
first 5 minutes.
I told the audience.
No, you're good. You
This is
good.
our
Other
first show back.
niggas, you good. Everybody else good. Anyway, let me
We
be
got some
professional.
technical difficulties.
We had some technical
We are so
difficulties.
back. However, that intro.
Shout out to my man, the boy Illinois, for the intro, man, on the
I was
show.
jamming. It was good.
I wanted that to be a better intro. I played that motherfucker twice because something with my headphones was tweaking. Just been an overall. It's a Monday ass Monday right here, but I'm glad I had these old school hot headphones. But anyway, it's your boy Scott. You know, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Barbershop Scott. You can follow the Barbershop Network at Barbershop Net. Follow Courtney, 1-800-CALLER BRO. My co-hosts are not here today. We'll get into that later on. We don't know what the fuck happened, but we'll figure out that shit later. But we got a guest. We're gonna bring our. Yeah, you're here. You're here. You're good. If we had to do, you know, how Deion Sanders does depth chart of like his favorite kids. You're like our co-host. You're number one right now. Them niggas at the bottom right now.
Go. Yeah, that's me, baby.
So let's just get into it, man. Let's get our guest in here today, man. We've got the one and only Chuck English from the Cool Kids, man. Chuck, what is going on, bro?
What's happening?
Man, it's been a Monday. It's to say the least.
Feels like a holiday to me.
Yeah, it's a holiday for you,
nice.
man. It's a holiday for you, man. National championship game tonight in Houston. Your Michigan Wolverines taking on Washington, man. Courtney is unfortunately an Alabama fan. So, unfortunately. Yeah. We call her Championship Court because she's also a Texas Rangers fan. So she's been having too much fun this past year. So, you know,
let me live. That's crazy. Let me live.
I stuck with one state and I'm on the come up. So I feel beautiful.
I live everywhere. I couldn't help my geography, you know.
No, I feel you.
Well, let's just get right into it, man. How do you let's talk about this season? You know, I feel like Michigan, man. I won't say they came out of nowhere. They've been really playing good football last couple of years. Once they kind of got over the Ohio State, bump in the road and finally beat them, and they just really just been dominating. I don't think anybody, at least I didn't pick y'all to win last week against Alabama. That was shocking to me. So you guys went out there and won. What's just been the whole feel? For you, as a native and just watching this team get to where they have gotten to this current point.
It's funny because the other night I was up like late, but I was in bed. I went on a deep dive through the Wikipedias, the last Michigan teams from 2004 to now, and I just was like, damn, I done been through some shit, bro. Like I done been through the 2013 team, I done been through the 2014 team. And I just think the difference now is, like most people won't pinpoint this, but we had this identity in 2004. And then when we hired Rich Rodriguez and tried to pull off the West Virginia shit, and that didn't work. And then we had Brady Hoke. He ain't like the way headphones. That didn't work. We had that 1-11-2 season, but that seemed fluky. And then, it's been 10 years of hardball. And, we was consistently 10-3 for a long time. We did a couple 9-4s. Then we had the COVID season. And I knew when the COVID season happened, I was like, yeah, this is like going in the closet and we're going to come back out with the Superman suit on. Because anybody, that whole season was like, come on, man, you playing in a big house with no people? Like, you're not going to win no games, bro. So, the fact that we here and the Ohio State jump over. It's like the new generation, I don't even think they care about that rivalry as much. I don't think the players on Ohio State care about it. And I think that's what happened. Michigan we're going to hold that shit near and dear to our hearts. Like, you ain't going to just beat our ass for 10 straight, 15 straight years and us not forget it. So it's an embarrassment of riches for Ohio State. They had, they won the first CFP. Same thing for Alabama. It's just like, y'all had y'all time. And now
Alabama had a long ass time.
long ass time. And now it's like, I think more or less, people are more shocked that Michigan is the team that they are from what we do. Like we don't air the ball out. We don't got a quarterback with 400 yards per game. We got a running back pretty much core that's going to rack up, 215 to 300 yards per game. And I think that shocks people. So the fact we in the chip off running the ball is It's like people don't believe that we supposed to be here type shit.
What did you have like any concerns about Harbaugh? I know for a minute it was like, he keeps winning this many games when it comes to going to the playoffs and winning bowl games, he's not getting the job done. Was there ever any concern that we might have to eventually move away from him? I know that the rumor is he's probably going to leave this year after the game is up, but was there like any concern about, what are we going to do? Can kind of feel like we're stuck in the mud of not being able to win the big game?
No, man, because we wasn't like Schembechler didn't win. Man, but we honor him like, a wartime president. So the fact that Harbaugh is pretty much coached by Schembechler quarterback, you can't be more Michigan than Harbaugh. And then that whole thing about leaving, that shit is more of a conspiracy than the moon landing. Because I'll explain to you two things why that's never going to happen. First of all, all the people that are professionally paid people in sports that are like, oh yeah, Harbaugh's going to take the job at the Chargers. Let me tell you why. Why would Jim Harbaugh go to a team that's losing in the same conference as his brother while his brother is at the apex? Ain't nobody beating the Ravens. So you're going to take a job to go to the Chargers where you split a stadium with the Rams, first of all.
Yeah.
And you playing in the AFC and you don't have no real ticket punched. You got Austin Eckler and the long hair and Herbert. I'm leaving Michigan for that. Do you think the University of Michigan don't got the same amount of money as the Chargers?
No, they got the same. I think the thing
they
is
got,
I'd say it's even better. It's a better environment in Michigan because there's so much money and there's really no limit to the money. Whereas in NFL, there's still kind of a cap. And the Spanos family, man, they're kind of.
You're not gonna spend 10 years building something just so you can leave it to stroke your ego over. So you lost to your brother in the Super Bowl in front of your parents. That's the last time I'm coming back to the NFL. Come on, bro.
I forgot about the Harbaugh.
Now, if it was, I could see Bears because that goes in his legacy because he was a Bear quarterback. But still, do he want to deal with y'all? No,
nobody should want to deal with us. Nobody should want to. I don't want to deal with us.
Think about Chicago media, Chicago sports fans. I've lived there half my life. Don't nobody. Come on, bro. You're gonna be at best. You may be Lovie Smith.
Yeah.
And look what y'all did to him. Ran him off the set.
You're bringing up completely reasonable points. 100%. I'm not disagreeing with none of that.
I'm just saying it's like for people to think, okay, well, Harbaugh will want the next challenge. It's like he had it. He played in the Super Bowl against his brother, was a backup quarterback, and didn't almost lose. If it wasn't for that blackout, I don't know what would have happened. So I'm thinking common sense, right? You are a Michigan man. You played Michigan football. You convinced some of the best players in the country to come to Michigan, and y'all not giving out NILs like that. You might get a car commercial in Ann Arbor. Blake Corum got a couple commercials. When I was home for Thanksgiving, a couple. He got a chain on and some charity shit. Like it ain't going as far as you think. So people are coming to Ann Arbor to play in front of 112,000 people that's going to be there regardless. The only time Michigan Stadium was empty was during COVID where they didn't have nobody in there. So that's my whole thought on Harbaugh leaving. It's like, why would you do that? And to go to the Chargers? Are you serious?
Nah, the Chargers, yeah.
That's how I know stories just be going by unchecked because it's just like, how does that make sense? You in the AFC, you gonna lose to your brother every single time as long as Lamar Jackson is the quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens.
Definitely. Well, let's get into the national championship game. I'm gonna give it to Courtney with this one, man. Courtney, let's get into this actual game. You claim you won't be watching.
I'm not watching. I value my mental health. I already know what's going to happen. Listen, I would love to say, I said it from the beginning that whatever team came out of that side of the bracket was going to win. If Alabama got in, didn't matter if they played Washington or Texas, they were going to win. Or it didn't matter. Michigan's winning this game. They're the team of destiny this year. I do find it funny, though, that Michigan has adopted this very much Michigan versus everybody mentality this year. Like everybody has really doubted them. And they had this sort of like a rewriting of the history. The man, Jim Harbaugh didn't coach like 6 games this season. Like, I think that part of it is very funny. Good luck to all of them. If you got any movie suggestions for me to watch, at 1-800-CALL-A-BRO, because I will watch.
You've had your time in the sun though. You know,
the crazy part is the time isn't even over. Everyone's like, "Oh well, Alabama hasn't won a natty in a few years." Like that's what a privilege that is. This team was basically playing with house money anyway. We had no business even making the playoff. If I'm keeping it up.
We going from dynasty Bama to we playing with house money. That's a supreme drop off.
Yeah, listen, let me tell you, as the games went on, and I thought about it a lot, especially in week 3 when we played was that USF, and we struggled and went through 3 different quarterbacks, and they begrudgingly brought back in Jalen Milroe after benching him for Ty Buckner, who literally was so bad that man doesn't even play football anymore. He went back to Notre Dame, is now playing lacrosse, and they have Ty Simpson, who was good. He was serviceable. That's probably a better word. And then they went back to Jalen Milroe, who looked fantastic, right? Clearly motivated to get his job back and did. This wasn't their season. I honestly I didn't expect them to be Auburn. That was, in my opinion, a fluke. That game against Georgia was incredible. I still think, in my opinion, Georgia should have been in the playoff. That's just me, but Bama got in, and it sucks that Tommy Rees decided that the play that you're going to run on the last drive of a game is a quarterback draw.
It was quite hilarious.
From 4th and 8, that's crazy.
So I will add this. Yeah. I will add this to play devil's advocate. I've watched a lot of football. I think the scouting report on Michigan is that we've never handled running quarterbacks well. Mm-hmm. Now, if Jalen Milroe would have kept his balance, I can't say or promise that he doesn't pull that off and we're going into the second overtime. I wouldn't say that was the worst call. But Michigan's defense has cocooned and turned into a whole nother beast over the past just this season. Last season, we were good, but now we really got lockdown corners, safeties. Our superstars are on defense. We have household names in Michigan on offense. Besides Blake Corum, you can't tell who's the wide receivers. Cornelius Johnson, it's Roman Wilson. Those ain't names that everybody talks about. People talk about the defensive side of Michigan on all levels, from Mike Barrett to the defensive line to damn near all the corners, from Sandra Still to Will Johnson to all of that. Every single one of them defensive players is going pro. So this is the first time that I could say that as a Michigan fan since the day I came home from the hospital born. This is the best defense we done had since '97. So and half of them are coming back. So this is, like we stand on defense and we run the ball. That's the difference. Like Jalen Milroe ain't never been put in a goulash like that. Like, bro really was fighting for it. He was fighting for his life. He was fighting for his life.
Correct.
Now you got to remember that we made probably 3 of the biggest mistakes you can make in a football game and still covered. We still covered our spread.
Yeah, I was telling them before, this is not the 2020 Alabama team. This is not, they don't got them dogs.
But also it's almost like a flip-flop. It's like Michigan and Ohio State can't be good at the same time. Georgia and Alabama can't be good at the same time. It's like it's like God won't allow it. So
like Daniel said, this all things should be.
Yeah, it's like, it's Kirby Smart, Jim Harbaugh time. It ain't Jim Tressel or what's bro's name? The one from Florida. I forget his name. Freaky Deaky boy.
Urban Meyer.
Yeah. So it's not their era anymore. And I think Michigan is recruiting with the legacy tip. Like, come to Michigan. Now look, like if I was recruiting, I'd be like, you want to play in the NFL? You want to be good? You want to be good in the NFL? Who's the two best players in the NFL on defense and offense? Charles Woodson, Tom Brady. They played on the same squad.
Even if you gotta do is tell. You say we had Derek Jeter over here.
All you gotta do is tell a 16-year-old Tom Brady, Charles Woodson.
Yep,
That's
all they did.
if they want to win and stay at the same school. Because if you see in these schools with all these portal switches, switching quarterbacks all the time, they getting blown out. TCU, you came off the national championship last year. All these teams that was good. Like, even no offense to Dion, it's like, bro, you can't make it a professional sport because it's not yet. You can still pay players, but it's a lot of legacy that goes in. It's a lot of
it's a brand name too. It's a brand
yeah,
name.
but it's like when you at a college game, that energy is different. It comes with a lot of history. It comes with tradition, and players gonna get hyped for some magic that don't really exist in pros or things that happen a little bit more commercially. So I think that Michigan and Georgia I think that's gonna be the natty next year finally.
And we got with this particular game, we talking about the defense. And I feel like defense was a big key last week. Is there any word about Michael Penix Jr.? Michael Penix Jr. is having a Heisman caliber season.
Nah, because we put him in the gates when he was at Indiana. He didn't do shit. It's the same player.
It's the same shit.
And if you come from the Big Ten and you go to the Pac-12, you're gonna look good. Now, Lau, you know who was scary? Who was more scarier than bro?
Who?
Tua's brother.
Yeah, the one who's in the portal again.
Yeah. That's who I'm scared of. I'm scared of him. I ain't never seen somebody so accurate with such a cannon and gonna slip out of something. Maryland was scary to every single person that played them. Mm-hmm. They just couldn't stop nobody. Now you know who can't stop nobody? Washington.
Yes, that they do not have a defense at all.
Yeah.
Last week was a shootout last week against Texas.
I got my call right now. Donovan gonna have more yards than Blake this game because they didn't scout for him, and he's faster and he can catch a ball like
that is a solid. That you guys do have a solid running back tandem.
Yeah,
Dom Edwards, right?
Yeah, if you double down on Blake, Donovan gonna get loose. It's like back in the day, 2016. You lock Steph Curry up. Guess who gonna get loose? Clay. So it's one of those things. Now I don't look over Michigan. We don't look over any opponent. I think everybody, even from my parents talking to them this morning, all we was just like, it's like we got to make sure that on top of stopping him, that the wide receivers don't get loose because they can catch anything. But Michael Penix put that ball so right there that they never had to reach out for nothing. They never had to slide to catch the ball or, make that dig route come back for it. Every single thing was just delivered to them too perfect. So with a defense like Michigan's, that's not going to always happen. So, yes, we worried about him, but we ain't heard nothing about their running back. And, like if y'all can't run on us, it's nothing you can do.
It's a wrap. So give me a score, man. What's the score? What's final score for the night? How you got this going?
I'm going to give you 42-21, Michigan.
Okay. 42-21. So you're going to have a good celebration tonight. My brother is a diehard Michigan. I'm not Michigan, but Ohio State fan. So I will definitely be trolling him tonight if that happens.
Look, man. Look, I'm telling you, if we win today, I'm going to bed. Just because last week we won the Rose Bowl. I was in Pasadena. I was drinking with the homies and I blacked out and I had to work.
Are you in Houston right now?
No, I'm in LA.
Okay.
I was gonna go I just sat outside the Rose Bowl. I gotta watch the big games on TV. I gotta see all the angles in it.
I understand completely. I thought about the game if Bama was playing. I will say the ticket prices got significantly cheaper once Texas wasn't in it anymore.
Yeah, no, that would have been a home game. But yeah, I was at Michigan, Ohio State, and it's just like the game watching experience is cool. Mm-hmm. I took my girlfriend to her first Michigan game versus Ohio State. But when you at the game, any sort of thing happens, right? They go to halftime. You watch that clock come out that say 3 minutes. You like, damn. When you at the crib watching the commercial, you don't really think about it.
You don't think about it at all.
Yeah. So and then the Michigan Ohio State game was a little brisk. Everybody toes was cold. So it's a different experience when you're watching on TV. So I this first natty, I'm watching on TV. If we make it back, I'm wherever the team's at.
let's let's talk about another football team out there who's been killing, man. Detroit Lions, man. I spoke to you in the offseason, and we were talking about the excitement coming into this season. You guys have completely, like exceeded all expectations. Won yesterday. Then the final record, you guys were 12-5, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Should have been 13-4.
Should have been 13-4.
If Jerry World did step in.
We have a fellow Michigan fan, as you can see. You being Michigan. My guy Mariano is here.
You know the deal, man. Listen, man. You know the deal. First and foremost, I want to say, Scott, my brother, appreciate you for having me. Again, his family. Courtney, shout out to you, because we ain't got to talk about what happened, but we just going to shout out to you. I'm gonna keep it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm already reliving my trauma. I'm good.
Shout out to you. Hey, man, listen. Cool Kid single-handedly made cool nigga rap what it is today. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the cool nigga rap that people like and all that shit, it's because of the Cool Kids. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you.
Appreciate that.
You already know, man. You know it's love, man.
But hey, go blue. Go blue.
Always. You already know.
Yeah. Yo, blue. We were just talking about, we about to get into Lions, and of course Mariano, we'll get your opinion on the game later. But
okay.
I was saying about the Lions, you said you guys should have won 13 games. You guys were hosting the first home playoff game in over 30 years, first playoff game in Ford Field ever on Sunday night. And on top of that, the guy who was y'all guy for a decade will be walking into the building, Matthew Stafford. The story, the script writers for the NFL.
That snap.
Round of applause.
That's why they took that 2 point off. They was like, yeah, we got something bigger.
We need to have this game. You got that. You got the Packers visiting Mike McCarthy. That's going to be a good little storyline. Just tell me how you feel about just this entire season. I feel like this team has been great from the jump. Just having an opportunity to even get the 2 seed last night. I think that's even more than what a lot of people expected. I think a lot of us expected them to be good. Just tell me what you feel about this season and going into this big playoff game.
I kind of I called it when we hired Dan Campbell, knowing that Dan Campbell was on the 0-16 Lions team. I always liked him when I was, I've been a hardcore Lions fan. I damn near know every roster player since 91. I went to the 91 playoff game. I remember the Thanksgiving when we clinched the North in 93. I think everybody in Detroit knows that when Martha got up off the bench and passed the team down to somebody that actually cared, we was gonna have some success. No offense to her, but she's the curse. And I know that, she passed it down to her family. But ever since Sheila took over, it's been up. And the way we've been drafting, the fact that we got Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, we got Jameson Williams, we got all of these people on defense is a test to them being like, all right, we're done with the bullshit. Because I know y'all's Bears fans, but there was a time when Lions had all these high draft picks, and what did they do? We went Joey Harrington, and then we kept taking number one wide receivers from Charles Rogers to Roy Williams to all these people that didn't even last in the league longer than 3 years. We never took pride in our offensive line. Now we got damn near offensive line that's household names. I think that when you really actually start planting good seeds, good things happen. And then people want to play for Dan Campbell. Like, don't nobody want to do the Sean Payton route where it's like, bro, I don't even know, did you catch a ball? Have you caught a ball? You know what I'm saying? Like, Dan Campbell was catching balls and then went down to New Orleans, helped them win. Remember when the Dolphins was trash and then he took over as interim and they was winning? It's like, when you inspire, I know that shit sounds a little corny when you grown, but when you inspire, if you can inspire grown-ups to do something, you're gonna have you're just gonna have a great time. And I think we got direction, we got discipline, our tackles. The fact that we actually wrap up, drive our legs, we tackle to the ground, we don't miss tackles. Our corners don't be trying to hit niggas with that little weak ass shoulder, trying to knock the knees out. We actually wrap up. You're gonna go from a 9-8 season to 12-5 season if that's how you gonna do it. So I'm excited because this ain't a fluke season. You know, like in 2014, I knew we had a fluke season. You know,
Right.
like that playoff little loss to the Cowboys, all that shit. I was like, yeah, that's gonna happen. Now, I'm like, I don't know if anybody want to see us for real. And then when Sam Laporta knee didn't break yesterday, and I was like, oh, he only got some soreness. Oh yeah, I'm like, it's
that
going
was a
our way.
blessing right there.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
And then Brian Branch came back on the field. I'm like, yeah, it's our way. Because any other Lions team, Sam Laporta would have tore MCL, ACL.
Yep.
He wouldn't have came back for 2 extra seasons. It would have been on some Eric Ebron shit. But we didn't
Boy,
have
that's a name, boy.
yeah. That's a dope
No,
name.
shout out to bro, but like
Yeah.
it just didn't work. It didn't work there.
Facts.
Even with bro that we sent to Minnesota. It's like I don't know what he did, but we traded him away and everything went our way.
Mm-hmm.
And now you stuck on Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Cold as hell.
It's super cold. I didn't know how
No
cold
Coney
it
or
was.
nothing. Ain't no Coney or nothing, bro.
Ain't nothing. And
Yeah.
Minnesota's so cold. They gotta have walkways between their high rises, so you ain't gotta go outside.
Yeah,
Bro, the thing about Minnesota, I didn't know how cold it was till I did the Monday Night Football game with the Bears and the Vikings, like end of November. It was like just a fuck you kind of cold. Not from Chicago, born and raised in Chicago. I know cold, but nigga, that's a different level of cold that they got over there in Minnesota, dog.
That's the shit you gotta. That's the shit you when you got your coat on, you gotta walk with a shoulder on. Like, damn, hold on, like, fuck going on?
No, you low key gotta walk backwards.
Real shit
with your hood over your head.
Yeah, and they never know what it.
Grateful that I live below.
Well, I live in Los Angeles. I live in Los Angeles now, so I don't deal with those problems anymore. But like at the time, you know, and then like since your body get used to this California weather, so when I was out there, I'm like, people shouldn't live like this. Like this is ridiculous.
Nah, it's crazy. Yeah, when you really look back and see how we came up, bro. Like me walking to school when I was going to Northern, like for high school, and I had to walk like cross the Lodge Freeway. If y'all never been to Detroit, you don't know about the Lodge Freeway. I had to cross the Lodge Freeway on that little you know what I mean? The little,
I know
bridge.
exactly what you're talking about.
And I'm talking about, bro, any type of conditions, dog. The Lodge at 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning, man, listen, dog.
Yeah.
Listen, that shit real.
I don't know which is worse though, extreme cold or extreme heat. Because I
deal with extreme heat every day.
I lived in Phoenix. My parents were moving me into my dorm at ASU, and it was like the hottest day on record at the time. I think the high was like 119 or 120. I was outside for maybe 10 minutes. I almost passed out. That's crazy.
I mean, you never want extreme anything. That's
all of the people living in these cities.
Little dabs.
Testament to the arrogance of humanity.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into you know Matt Stafford, everything he's done in Los Angeles since he left. Won a Super Bowl a couple years ago. I think this year was probably a really good season for the Rams. Nobody saw it coming. You know, this to me is Sean McVay's best coaching season, even outside of the Super Bowl. So, you know, from the way they come together, it's really a young team outside of the guys who are still there from the championship team. But what do you think I think Detroit should be the favorite this upcoming weekend? But what things about the Rams kind of, concern you a little bit when it comes to, of course, like the atmosphere? This is going to be something that these Rams players, not Jared Goff. Jared Goff's been to the Super Bowl, but a lot of those Lions players have not been in this situation. What do you think is going to be something that the Rams might bring as a threat for the Lions in this game?
I mean, I think energy is going to be in our favor. I think not just storyline, but Goff having a chip on his shoulder. Stafford might come in and feel a little nostalgic, and we might hit him early, like kind of rock him to sleep on some like, welcome home, nigga. Like, but it's up. You know what I mean? I think the Rams. This is what I say, and I'm not negating anything they've done, but the majority of the Rams wins have been at home. The NFC West, besides the Niners, ain't on shit. And what did they go 1-1 with the Niners?
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, yesterday's win isn't the same as playing mid-in season.
Yeah, that was a back up QB off last night.
I'll take that. I think that the Rams had a lot of heart I don't know if they're that talented.
Right.
And anytime you got Matt Stafford and one receiver that can catch, you got a chance.
Yeah.
I just think that like like we talk about storylines all the time, and I feel like we all can anticipate what this one's gonna be. Yeah. And I think the defense is gonna come play, and just we sent Stafford away so he can win a Super Bowl. I think he's gonna come back here and throw 4 picks like he used to do.
He a vintage Stafford.
Yeah, he's like he used to do.
That's a hot take.
Yeah. Ford Field gonna bring back that interception machine. Yeah, he got to do something crazy like he always do, and I think, I want 2 pick sixes out of him. You know what I'm saying? Do right by the city. give us.
Do they drop a Matt Stafford tribute video?
No, we not that type of city. We
ain't got lucky like that.
No, we do, but
That's
not
true.
like.
But not in this atmosphere. If his career was over with, this is like farewell tour or something like that. Then I could see that happen. But like in this, you ain't getting no.
No, I ain't getting no love in Ford Field. Nah, if he stepped in the Tiger Stadium, he went over to Comerica, he might get a standing ovation. He
posted the loveliest, like he sat down with like a letter. It was like, "Thank you, Detroit." And I said, "Is this like a retirement announcement or something?"
Well, if it's thank you, then I'm gonna need you to throw 2 picks to Gardner Johnson, and I need I'm gonna need Cam Sutton to get one. And I need one of them to be a pick 6. If you really love the city, then throw the ball our way.
Prove it.
One last thing. No, go ahead. My bad.
No, I was gonna say that. Like I feel like the love for Matt Stafford in Detroit will always be the same. Because when we went off to the Rams and we was trash, we was cheering for the Rams. But now that all that shit is over with, and now we like. You shouldn't have left. You could have stuck this out. You could have seen what Dan Campbell was talking about, but you had to go. You wanted to go with your mans. You wanted to go buy a house in L.A. All right. What you should have did is went to Dallas so you could be with your man. You could have went to Dallas and been around
Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, come on.
And if we're putting it above,
the one fact
already.
Yeah, the one fact that they don't ever let us forget about. They were like, did you know that Clayton Kershaw and Matt Stafford are friends? Like,
but you know what though? I'm glad he didn't go to Dallas because then I would have had to a part of me would have had to like wanted to see him succeed, and I don't want to see Dallas win shit. So like, I'm kind of happy that he did. Right. But like, if I'm taking away my feelings from it, that's what he should have done. Like, for sure.
Because now it'll never be Cowboys love in Detroit for the rest of our. As long as I'm alive, it's not a Cowboy star walking around Detroit. You better not try to step into Sweetwater or nothing. You ain't eating
none of that. Yeah, no rice, no champagne, no nothing. You don't eat nothing.
Shout out to Sweetwater, man. Anytime I come,
absolutely shout out to Sweetwater.
Give me some Sweetwater wings, man. That'd be one of the first stops. When I get out there, man. Before we get you up out of here, man, were the Pistons sacrificed for Michigan and the Lions to have these great seasons?
I got a conspiracy theory. Yeah, that's one. But also, I feel like now that Joe Dumars is damn near the head of basketball, and he like, I don't give a fuck if that's my team. Y'all tried to run me off the set. I don't care what happens. From Dwayne Casey to Monty Williams, y'all can have the best coach you ever thought. It ain't gonna be nothing better than what I put in place. And I just think Weaver and the owner, I think they, you know what I'm saying, they taking shit too light. And we didn't need Monty Williams. We don't need somebody that can't coach young dogs. Yeah. Monty Williams is an old man coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Monty Williams is a lovable loser. And we can't have that in the city. Like, when we won, we had Larry Brown, who is an executioner. Yeah. Like, he didn't take no shit from nobody and was talking to Chauncey crazy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But we won. When we had Chuck Daly, it was all business. He knew how to put crazy people with crazy people. I got Isaiah Thomas and Dennis Rodman on the same team. Mm-hmm. So I think, everything is a rebuild, but I think everybody in the city will take some football love a little bit. We got basketball chips. Yeah. Like it's like Chicago. Y'all got basketball chips. Y'all would trade the Bulls in right now for a Bears Super Bowl.
I would damn near trade my mama in for a Bears Super Bowl right now.
But listen, and that's how it is when it comes to NFL football, college football in the city. like we want them teams to win, bro. Like we want those teams to win. Like you said, the Pistons, and also they play 82 games a season, bro. So it's like, all right, whatever. It's gonna wear off after a while. We only gonna care for so long. But them football games, every game matter, bro. You lose a game, you'll see. You might be looking next season. You know what I'm saying? So
and it's a beautiful thing too, because what you'll really see is if Big Ten gonna restructure, ain't gonna be nowhere East and West, and it's literally just gonna be the leaders. Yep. Man, watch. Michigan State took that dive. Freaky ass Mel Tucker got up out of there. once they get a new coach and it's a Michigan versus Michigan State Big Ten championship with the Lions still winning, we ain't gonna give a fuck about. And we don't care about Spartan basketball, Wolverine basketball, or Pistons basketball.
What Jay-Z said? They could go 0 for 82, and I look at you like this shit crazy.
That's what he said. What? Michigan Natty? If we get a Michigan Natty and an Lions NFC championship appearance,
bro.
I don't care.
Living.
I don't care if I find a basketball in the state of Michigan. I don't give a shit.
Real shit.
and on top of that, the NFL draft gonna be in Detroit this year.
You're
gonna start calling him Championship Chuck.
Come on, man.
I'm with it.
Come on, man. What's crazy is because I just bought my K jersey though, because I'm still.
K the Hooper though.
Yeah, the
Hooper.
No, as long look, we get rid of everybody but K, we'll be all right. Just keep
start off from beginning. Just keep.
I'm
K,
not mad
man.
at that. Yeah, keep K.
I'll take K, keep K and Ivy, and we'll be all right.
Yeah,
definitely, man.
I'm not mad at that.
Chuck, man, we're gonna get you up out here, man. We know you got getting preparation mode for tonight, man. I just want to thank you for joining us. Thank you for dealing with a little bit of a technical difficulty at the beginning. So glad you could join us, bro. Let them know they can get in tune with you and everything you got going on.
I do a little bit of social media and on Twitter. So just follow me at Chuck is Dope on Twitter. And then, man, when we get to the championship round of the playoffs, bring me back on. We can talk some more shit.
Oh, let's do that. I'm with you, bro. I'm definitely going to hit you up about that. All right, brother.
Yep, sir. Peace.
So we are back here. First of all, I just want to apologize to our listeners for the delay that we have here on this show. Today is a very Monday-ass show.
It's Monday, and boy.
It's Monday like a motherfucker. We ain't done this show.
I should have just started singing show tunes, but I didn't want YouTube to snipe our tunes down. I just didn't know what to do with like 3 minutes of dead air. I was like, let me just start talking.
That was my fault.
I do have a stand-up routine for what it's worth that I should have dropped and like workshopped it and see like
it's all good. It's all good. And matter of fact, we got this nigga right here.
Oh,
my dog. What up, dog?
My people, what's up? What up, dog? 2024, what's good, man? What is up?
Man. Hey, dog, I had if this was a football game, I threw 4 fumbles. I had 4 fumbles in the first 10 minutes of this shit. So I started. We like being transparent with the watchers and the viewers. Sure. This is what happened. We were supposed to have our original pre-show meeting that we always have. Now we're doing the show early today because the national championship game, and we'll be doing it again early next week because of the playoff game. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? So Bang had a job issue that he put in the chat, but it wasn't like fully like he put it in there, but he ain't really put the details of I'm not gonna be able to be on there today. So I'm just thinking, he just let me know this information. Fine. So then I'm wondering, because usually Dante's the first one in the room before anybody. I give Dante credit. Dante has if we're doing this is like somebody who who has a great career. He doesn't really get in trouble, but today this nigga's in timeout. There's a penalty box. Dante's in a penalty box.
Wow, that's a 5-minute major. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then the show starts. My fucking headphones ain't working. For some reason, the intro did the intro freeze for y'all, or was it just on my end?
No, I couldn't hear you, and then you had to leave, and so I was in here, like I said, for like 4 minutes by myself.
But the intro when I played? Did the intro?
Oh yeah, no, the intro played twice, which again, I was driving because the intro is fire. So
it played twice because when I played it the first time, it froze, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" So then I had to run in my room and get these old headphones, which I'm probably just gonna go back using because Bluetooth headphones will fuck you sometimes. But anyway, we're here first. I'm not gonna hold you 2020, and before I forget to do this, let's have a word from one of our sponsors, Athlean. We're going to run this Athlean ad real quick so I can get my coins real quick and we'll be right back. As you play the Jeopardy music. What up, y'all? It's your boy Scott, host of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. Are you an athlete looking to redefine your journey beyond the game? Introducing Athlean, your gateway to new opportunities, brand collaborations, and financial empowerment. Join our thriving community of athletes and businesses where you can connect with brands, unlock exclusive campaigns, and amplify your impact on and off the field. Are you ready to rewrite the playbook for your success? Connect with Athlean today at www.athlean.app and let your journey to greatness extend far beyond the game. Athlean, where athletes thrive. As y'all can see, I got my mama real ad.
Hey, hold on now. Hold on now. My boy Scott said, "Hold, you know what I mean? Let me fix the time, y'all nigga. Yeah, we gonna talk. You ready to be great, nigga? Huh?
Yeah, hey man, look, I can get my professional voice on too. I am hire me.
Remember, y'all, this is what it was supposed to look like when Stringer was taking those classes. This is what it was supposed to be. This is the result that he was hoping. You hey man, you living the dream right now, my boy. You fulfilling the prophecy.
Shout out to everybody, Athlean. We actually have an official sponsor of the show that will be starting next month. With that announcement will be coming soon because we got a little announcement video for that. But since Courtney said it earlier, shout out my man, the boy Illinois, for the intro. Of course, that's been the intro to this show for the last 3 years, but I wanted to shoot an actual video for that. I wanted to give my boy some shine. He's one of the best artists out there. And shout out to Rel Elite. So cool. He did the beat. Shout out my brother. My brother shot the video. And the Young Genius, one of our video guys hitting the kill, he edited, man. So shout out to everybody who was involved with the making of that video. Shout out to everybody who watched it. We got like almost 20,000 views just off that video alone. So we fuck with y'all. But let's get into our actual rundown today. So my original sound off was gonna be on Trevor Lawrence. We're gonna make this a group sound off today. Let's talk about turnover Trev as a trick off Trev, as Bang likes to call him. By the way, Mikey has not been kidnapped. Mikey will be hosting I'm Not Gonna Hold You halftime with me on Wednesday.
Shout out to Mikey, man.
Shout out to Mikey exclusively on Patreon. The white man's been trying to hold him down on the job hours, but Mikey is alive and well.
They hating on my boy.
They hating on my boy, but he will be co-hosting with me on I'm Not Gonna Hold You halftime this Wednesday on the Patreon. Of course, if you want to see I'm Not Gonna Hold You overtime, it would just be me and Dante today. Now, 5 minutes ago, I thought we weren't gonna have an overtime day. I'm like, well, nigga. We just not gonna have one. We're gonna have one day. It's gonna be me and Dante on there. So y'all can go over to the Patreon and subscribe to there so y'all can check that out. Shout out to everybody who is already subscribed, man. But let's get into it. Mr. Trevor Lawrence, Sunshine from Remember the Titans, as I like to call him. It's about time that people see who he is. I've been saying this on this show for a couple months now. We use the word generational way too much. And this is something Mikey said in his year-end sound-off. That was on the I'm Not Gonna Hold You holiday special. Big shout out to everybody who watched that. Because we're using it too much. And I think that, Trevor Lawrence is obviously a great talent. He's always been a great talent, even since he's back on QB1. And I don't want to sit up here and, take anything away from what he's done in the past, leading that Jaguars team to the playoffs last year. They should have lost that goddamn game. But Brandon Staley is Brandon fucking Staley. And he just gave it right to him. But it's to the point right now, he's getting away with murder. The way he does things, the way he gets away with stuff that other quarterbacks wouldn't get away with. I know a quarterback who wouldn't get away with it. A guy who got sacked 6 times yesterday, and they tried to blame him like he had anybody to throw to any time to throw the ball, Mr. Justin Fields. We can name somebody like a Lamar Jackson who would get the same bullshit. Really, any type of quarterback who has melanin would be not judged the same way that we judge Trevor Lawrence. And it's about time that people actually, give him the shit that he deserves. He's been thrown. He has 21 touchdowns, 14 interceptions this year. Very pedestrian numbers. Threw a couple yet last night in a big game against a team that's already out of it. Your division rival, the Tennessee Titans. You should have not allowed to lose that. You went from having a chance to clinch the division last night to not even being in the fucking playoffs. And it's solely on the shoulders of him, the way he's been doing it. And there was a lot of a lot of, hype with this team coming to the season with the way they did last year, win that playoff game, going head to head with Patrick Mahomes in the divisional round. And then they were able to get Calvin Ridley after he's come back from suspension. Calvin Ridley's had a pretty decent year, but it wasn't enough to get them back into the playoffs. And if you let the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers get in, bro, them niggas didn't have 4 quarterbacks this year. Shout out to Mike Tomlin, but they didn't have 4 quarterbacks this year. Anytime you employ Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett, and Mitchell fucking Trubisky, and you win 10 games, nigga, you should be in the Hall of Fame right now. You know what I'm saying? And you let that team get in before you. And we need to put this solely at the hands of Trevor Lawrence. I'm gonna go to Courtney first on this one because I know she said you got smoke for Mr. Lawrence too.
Well, I mean, my smoke is basically just big. I mean, listen, like you said, we use the term generational a lot, but the smoke is really for that draft class, the 2021 draft class. When you hold that shit up in the light, it's looking a little funny, like a little funny. I wouldn't accept it. They had the most quarterbacks ever drafted in 2021, and if you look at the list, none of them really move the needle. You have Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, Kyle Trask. I'm not going to say nothing about Justin Fields because I do love him and he's in a bad situation.
Free Justin, man. I don't want to say that.
Trey Lance, I'm just saying you have all of these quarterbacks that were taken in that draft class that have not delivered. And Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he's got the third most turnovers this season. I know it's Sam Howell's first. And then it was, of course, Josh Allen, always in the mix when it comes to turnovers. And then it's
AFC champion Joshua Allen.
Man, leave man don't even
on his name.
That man. We can talk about that later. We
can talk about that later in the show.
All of that to say, I just don't understand what it is about the media that gives these guys the crown before they've done anything to deserve it. He had a 5-game stretch at the end of last season where he looked elite and then proceeded to go into the playoffs. Yes, admittedly, they were down 27-0 against the Chargers. He came back, but he threw 4 picks in that game. That man threw 4 picks in that playoff game against the Chargers, and then threw a pick against the Chiefs in a game that ended 27-20. Now imagine if he didn't throw that pick. Like, you see the vision, all of their problems that Jacksonville has kind of begin and end with Trevor Lawrence. That's all I got to say. That's all I got.
Since Dante is on probation, we're gonna go to Mariano first.
So a lot of what your problem is with Trevor Lawrence is what my problem used to be with Phillip Rivers, right? It wasn't necessarily like I don't like this dude personally. It's I don't like how other quarterbacks get talked about, and this motherfucker seemed to slip under the he get to just not do shit. And people don't talk about it. They just want to praise him for all the good shit, but then don't want to highlight the bad shit. My quarterback, y'all know my GOAT, Eli. A lot of people like to talk shit about Eli, but he won when it mattered. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with Trevor Lawrence, he can do it. He, what they say, he make every throw, and he got it. His rookie year, I saw he had talent. I saw that all he had to do was, make some adjustments. And you see in his second year, he was great. Like he really was great. I think he had like single digit interceptions that year. He might have had like 8 or some shit like that. This year it just looks like he regressed. His decision making ain't the best. And like you said, compared to everybody else, like people giving Justin Fields shit, but Justin Fields is a fucking winner, bro. Like to me, I look at Justin Fields and I'm like, nah, that dude is a winner. You know how I feel about players that come from that school. So this means a lot, me saying that about this guy. But Trevor Lawrence, I mean, I don't know what you're gonna do with him, dog. Like it's the best shit Jacksonville has since who? Like he's the best quarterback. Who's the best quarterback Jacksonville's had other than him? Who's their guy? Like
Mark Brunell,
Byron Leftwich. So I mean, I get why he's kind of like seemingly Teflon or whatever because it is Jacksonville. I mean, if he was playing somewhere else, maybe the criticism would be a lot more. But I think the reason why he's getting like let off the hook, so to speak, is because it's Jacksonville. We would never talk about Jacksonville 3-4 years. We would never talk about Jacksonville, but we talk about it now sometimes for the wrong reasons. But Trevor Lawrence, yeah, I do agree with you. Like he does deserve to be on that fucking hot seat. like a lot of these other quarterbacks. But I mean, it's Jacksonville, man. Like,
yeah, that's a big thing. Dante, I'm gonna throw it to you. I think you and Mikey said too, like because it is Jacksonville is why people don't give a fuck.
yeah.
No, that's exactly what it is, bro. It's Jacksonville. I asked one of my homies who lives in Jacksonville, Justin, friend of the show, and he said it. He said, bro, the media in Jacksonville is talking about firing the offensive coordinator. They're not worried about Trevor Lawrence right now. Like, so he has the fortunate situation of being in a place where the pressure isn't that high. Like, we laugh when we talk about it, but Mark Brunell is probably the most successful quarterback in Jaguars history. So it's like, okay, we got this young guy. They actually probably had a mindset, we're going to be patient with him because what else do we have? Whereas, you had the Bears fans acting like they act like we the Packers, like we've had fucking Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love. So it's like, who the hell is this guy? But no, that's what it is, bro. He's in a fortunate situation where even though he should probably get more slander and like more to blame, but he's one of the quarterbacks that's been blessed with a situation where they're just like, all right, we happy to have a guy. So, we know what you can be. So we're not going to sit here and dwell on everything when you mess up. So that's all that is. Because
that's crazy. That's crazy to say out loud.
It's the truth, though, because we know how narratives drive the sport.
Saying to your fans, this is our, here, nigga, damn.
That's pretty much it.
Pretty much.
That's basically what that is. That's pretty much what that is, man. I think that, they'll have a lot of time to think about it in off season because that shit has begun already, man. Let's get into you might as well just put thank you, because I'm about to clear the lane out here. I got a lot of shit to motherfucking say about this particular team that I root for, a team that I have been a fan of I've been on this earth 35 years, about 30 of them years, and this season was a weird season. Also, I've covered this team. I just finished my third season covering this thing. I want to give a shout out to everybody who I fuck with on the beat. Shout out my man Herb Howard from the Bigs. Shout out my guy Jason Leisure, Chicago Sun-Times. My man Nicholas Mariano, CHGO Sports. My man Gino, my man's Terrence from the Bigs. Just everybody, most of the people on the Bears beat are real cool. So shout out to everybody. It was a privilege to cover this team with y'all this year. But I think there's great people with the organization. I'm doing a Stephen A. Smith right now. It's great people in the organization, people that care for you, people that look out for you. There's a lot of people who actually work for the team, who fuck with what we do at Barbers Chat Network, fuck with me and my brother and everything that we do at 79 and Hallis, and they have looked out tremendously. So I fuck with them. This is not about people who work there. Having said all of that, the people who run the spot don't know how to run a goddamn football team. And we just got to call it like it fucking is. Last night was the first Packer game I watched where I didn't get upset about them losing. And I knew this shit was going to happen. And the Bears do this shit all the time. They throw a little hype video out there on the YouTube and the Twitter and try to get the fan base riled up. Biggest rivalry in the history of the game. The two founding franchises, Lombardi and Hallis, la, 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 la. At the end of the day, dog, this was a reality check. And my original plan coming into today, recordings, we ain't recorded in 3 weeks. My plan was to be positive because I thought this team was going in a positive trajectory with the last couple weeks, winning 5 home games in a row, winning the last couple games, despite the fact that they left 3 wins on the table. This team realistically should be 10-7 right now. Now 10-7 right now, and getting ready to host a playoff game not host a playoff game, but in a playoff game this coming weekend. But they're not. And you had all this positive momentum. You're like, okay, week 1 was different. Maybe a little bit too hype. Home opener. You're not expecting much from Jordan Love. And you had the nasty man who was your defensive coordinator. When he was watching Bang Bros instead of actually running the right fucking defense against the fucking Packers. You know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, that's different. We didn't have pass rush at the time. Now you got Montez Sweat, a guy who's the first dude in NFL history or something like that to have 6 sacks with 2 teams in one season. So he had 6 sacks with Commanders and 6 sacks with the Bears. You're like, okay, the way this defense been playing well, we should be able to at least make this better, even though Jalen Johnson is out. By the way, pay the man. They just completely got outclassed. They got completely outclassed. This is if you want to be, and I'm usually a glass half full person. If anybody knows me personally, I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I can't look at this game this way. This was just way too easy for the Packers. And we can sit up here. We can talk about Justin this, Justin that, bad, coaching, bad situation. You're 100% right. I have never seen an organization sabotage a young quarterback the way they did Justin Fields. It was a sabotage masterclass. Now, that's not absolving Justin of the other issues he has. Justin has issues he has. Justin can play better. Despite the bullshit he's in, he hasn't had enough. Justin has had flashes. And as Lou Riddick likes to say, flashes get you fired. So I'm not trying to, be a complete Justin fanboy. And y'all very well my allegiance. I've been a Justin fan since QB1. This is not just because he's a Bears quarterback. I will be a fan of that nigga if he does leave wherever the fuck he goes. And just, being around him, talking to him at the facility. He's a cool young guy. A cool kid. It's wild I can call him kid. You're an old nigga when you call somebody, this nigga got way more money than me. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling this nigga a kid because I'm 12 years older than this nigga. But he's a cool kid. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm a fan. But he hasn't. The reason it's a tough decision because he ain't blown it out the water either. So I'm aware of that. But the reality of the situation is, whichever way you want to look at it, I had a tweet Saturday night. Bears fans need to stop bitching because you looked at what CJ Stroud did against the Colts this past weekend and able to get little do we know that was the AFC South Championship game with the Texans winning the division in year one, and now they're going to the playoffs. And as great as he's been, there are a lot of people like, oh, well, Ryan Poles passed up on him, which I don't like that theory, but we're not going to get into that again. I was like, next year you're going to have a quarterback. Either it's going to be Justin Fields or it's going to be Caleb Williams. You should feel good about that. But after watching last night, and not that I ever wanted Eberflus back, but I was warming up to it a little bit more. But this is just another example of why he got to fucking go. This team was just not prepared. They were not prepared. They were outclassed. It was a carbon copy of week one. And I'm glad I wasn't there last night. Week one pissed me off so bad, I didn't even do post game. I went to a fucking bar. The professionalism went out of me. I didn't stay for fucking post game. So it's something where like the Green Bay Packers showed that the Bears have made strides this year, but they're still not closer than closest as they should be. We want to talk about rebuilding this, rebuilding that. Nigga, the Packers was rebuilding this shit. The Packers wasn't supposed to be in the playoffs. The Packers wasn't supposed to be this competitive. They just got rid of their fucking franchise quarterback for damn near the last 20 years. And Jordan Love, we can sit up here and talk all that shit we want. That's a good fucking quarterback. I saw Bears fans tweet, oh, we only hits open wide receivers. That's what the fuck good quarterback's supposed to do. And Matt LaFleur, good coach. He's scheming these guys open. He's making the game easier for his quarterback. And it's just like the Bears have this archaic system. So hear me good and hear me very clearly before I open up the panel to this. It's going to be the same shit. If Matt Eberflus keeps his job, which we are all expecting that's going to be the case. I reported this back in October. That was the feeling around the building, just the vibe that I got being in Hallis Hall. It felt like, oh, he's only a lame duck coach to Bears fans. This dude is going nowhere. And so I'll be shocked. We don't know. Today was player interviews with the GM and the president, Kevin Warren, and Eberflus. Why Eberflus was in these fucking meetings, I have no fucking idea. These players should be able to talk freely about Eberflus. And then we found out that, I have not gotten an email from Bears PR about when the year-end press conference is going to be. So this is probably going to drag a little bit longer this week. Unless Kevin Warren pulls a Jed Hoyer, which I'm praying to God he does, and says, look, yes, Eberflus did a better job this year than he did last year. We appreciate his contributions. We're going to go another direction. And you fucking blow Jim Harbaugh's lineup like you're a fucking crazy ex. That's what the fuck you need to be doing. I will be in Houston right fucking now, as soon as the game is over. Oh, so I got the jet. And let's go talk about this contract. That's what they need to be doing. But the fact of the matter is, we know that's not going to happen. We heard the comments that Tracy Wolfson reported last night that Kevin Warren likes continuity. If you're a Chicago sports fan, Mariano knows this. Well, last time we heard continuity. Oh, them bums playing on the west side of Chicago. The fucking Bulls. It's like my PTSD started flaring up from that. So we all know what's going to happen. And now you're setting up Caleb. It's gonna be the same shit. It's gonna be. I'm telling you right now. For Bears fans who think Caleb is just gonna be some fucking Superman, I think Caleb is very talented, in the right system. I think he can be great. There's nothing right about the Bears in offense in a 108-year history of this fucking franchise. So if you're gonna bring him in with an Eberflus, and who fucking knows who the offensive coordinator is gonna be if they do let go of Luke Getsy and they replace him with somebody like a fucking Frank Wright. You're going down the same fucking path again. And then you're going to expect him to be Superman. And when he doesn't do the same things that you want to do next season, y'all going to be ready to call him everything but a child of God. It's a circle of shit. Until they uproot everything and do this the right way, it's going to be the same thing. And Bears fans, y'all can get up here on Twitter and tell me, oh, I'm going to stop watching. Cut the bullshit. That's why they get away with the murder they do now. Because they know y'all niggas going to keep tweeting about them. They know y'all niggas going to keep buying the merchandise. They know y'all niggas going to keep going to the games on home and on the road. When I went to the fucking Chargers, I've been on road. I did 4 road games this year. It was a large Bears fan contingent at every goddamn arena I went to. You're going to keep watching and you're going to keep supporting this circle of shit. And it's just nothing's going to change unless something is changed from the root. And that's from the McCaskies. That's from Kevin Warren. That's the Ryan Poles. They need to have a come to Jesus moment. Get rid of this dude. Get you an actual coach. We keep talking about, the Bears have never found a good quarterback. Outside of Lovie Smith and fucking Mike Ditka, they have never found a good coach. And I don't want to hear about George Halas, all due respect. He was the first coach. But even was that, 100 fucking years ago? Like, the bar needs to be higher, man. At this point, it kind of feels like Isaiah Thomas era Knicks. And that's just pretty much where I'm at with it, man. I'm going to go to Dante first. He's the resident Bears fan here with me. What do you feel about just this situation? I kind of feel like we were positive 48 hours ago. We had good vibes. And now it just kind of feels like we're back where we was at.
Yeah, I think that's probably a blessing in disguise because the reality is, had they finished this season on a win streak, had they, even made the playoffs, we would have just got excited and glossed over all the issues. Because, now, like you say, hindsight's 2020. We sit here looking at the schedule and we say, well, they were 1-7 against teams above 500. The quarterbacks they beat were pretty fucking terrible. So, I mean, I think the letdown from that game and it being, like you said, a mirror image of week 1 has taken all of the positivity away that they have built up over these last few weeks. I mean, you look at the defense. You were one of the most aggressive defenses in the league the last 5 weeks, and then you just sit there and zone all day and let Jordan Love pick you apart. Like, I knew it was a wrap when in the fourth quarter when we still had a chance to win the game. We got them pinned against their end zone. They on like the 3-yard line, and we dropped back, gave everybody 10 yards cushion, and just said, all right, fuck it. We're going to just see what you do. And he picked them apart. Got first down, game over. Like we didn't touch the ball after the 6-minute mark. So, I mean, at this point, it's more of it seems like it's going back to where we were before, where it's like, all right, it is what it is. Same old Bears. We know what this is. We know what they're going to do. They're going to find a way to fuck this up. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't move Justin, but they're going to move him. And probably in true Chicago Bears fashion, they're going to fire 2 out of 3, keep 1. Then when that don't work, and after 3 years, they're going to run it back again. Completely new cycle. So same thing, same shit, different day. I'm disappointed is probably the best word, but at the same time, I'm not surprised. This is probably where I should have been. This is my fault for buying in. I think we do this like every 2 years.
We do it all the time.
Insert Chicago team here, like it could be the Bulls, it could be the White Sox. Every couple of years, we dumb enough to be like, you know what? I think they might have figured it out, and they ain't figured out shit. So I'm really gonna take a wait and see approach with this from here on out. I think based with you should be getting a new head coach, but you're not. You're not. So
yeah, we know
nothing's gonna change.
From an outsider perspective, man, Courtney, what do you think about this? Of course, you're privileged. Good football. We don't.
Do I?
Well, we're talking about just a college. We're not talking about.
Okay, I'm like, because do I? I had to let the Saints go, and in my stupidity, I picked up the Eagles. Okay, and they have really hurt me the past 6 weeks. So I don't even. They really just fumbled the division to the freaking Cowboys, and now I got to deal with them.
As we see Mariano with the Giants cup right there.
Oh yeah. We're really struggling today, aren't we? But no, I I just don't understand the logic of fans, I guess, that are proud of being loyal to bad teams and to giving your money to fund bad teams. I just don't get it. Nothing is going to change. It's like you said, I feel like I see this as an outsider. I'm not even like a Bears fan like that, but because of you guys, I really followed the Bears this season, and I was pretty locked in on everything going on. And I have to be honest,
because that's all we talk about in the chat. It's them
correct. Well, the problem is, though, in my opinion, it's not Justin Fields. I don't see what changes about the landscape of that organization by bringing in a rookie quarterback unless you change everything in the environment around him. That doesn't make any sense at all. And it's going to end up happening is the same thing. Give it 2-3 years. He's not going to get the results that he wants. Eberflus is going to be gone in what? Two years, maybe? And then you're going to have to bring in another coach. And then he's going to struggle in his 3rd year, 4th year. And then people are going to be like, oh no, is it time to talk about drafting a new quarterback? And then, oh my gosh, wash, rinse, repeat. It's embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed?
I'm very embarrassed. I'm very embarrassed. I don't like showing my face at events. Like, people be looking at me. You tell people who are like, fans of like other teams, they look at you like, like you're a fucking Vietnam vet when they tell you you're a Bears fan. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Like I'm tired of being embarrassed in front of public.
One of the worst shits ever. Week 1, I had to watch that Bears game in the airport. And one thing you know about airport bars, everybody gathers around the bar.
Think they Stephen A. Smith.
Naturally, I'm sitting next to 3 Packer fans. And midway through the game, bro, no bullshit. Like, we sitting there, we've been having a good conversation. Packer fans are usually cool. They don't go too bad because they know they be beating our ass. So you usually just get a good laugh out of Packer fans. This dude, no lie, we sipping our beer. So he tapped me. He goes, "So, Caleb Williams, huh?" Like, that's life as a Bears fan. Like, there is no positive.
Yeah, that's so embarrassing. I wouldn't even like rep the Bears anymore. That's crazy.
Well, this thing, I'm in it for. I'm like this. I can give up the White Sox.
But why? But why are you in it
for?
There's
no actual reason. I just love this shitty ass thing. It's like
my brother Dante. Bring out the sign.
It's like this. It's like this with the Bears. It's like with the Bears and the Bulls, bro. Like, it's like this. Like with the, and then we'll move on. We'll talk about more of this in overtime. But like, to me, it's the White Sox were easy to give up because it's fucking White Sox. Like, they have been, at least the Bears have been to the playoffs. They ain't been a lot, but it's been more than fucking White Sox. Yes, the White Sox have won a World Series. Won a World Series on my birthday, but that was almost 20 years ago. And it's like the White Sox don't even act like they give a fuck. Like, at least the Bulls will do shit like, oh, we'll make a play in, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. But it's just something where, I'm just not gonna get rid of them. It's like the baby mama you have that, like, it's like I should get rid of them, but I'm not.
But you know what's crazy though? Like, looking at the Bears, like you said, on the outside looking in, right? Like, people forget that like sports are still a job for these athletes, right? Like, it's still work. You still got to go to work. I'm gonna assume we've all been in work environments where they might have brought in somebody new who can do the job and everything like that, but nobody likes this motherfucker, or nobody, it's whatever. But then you got somebody who can do the job probably just as well, and everybody loves them. They make the morale, the morale is through the roof. I think that's what's going on with Justin Fields. When you hear about like how his receivers talk about him, how the rest of the team talks about him, they really enjoy having him there. And I think that not only is he not the problem, but you're going to create a whole different problem if you get rid of him, because even if Caleb Williams is good, Caleb Williams has to look at Justin Fields and say, shit, it don't matter how much these people like you. You start fucking up and it look better for us to get rid of you. That's what we're going to do. Like, you're not giving Justin Fields any or anybody, any player for that fact, to come there. These players talk, bro. Like, they talk. Yeah. You get rid of Justin Fields, man, it's going to be nasty, bro. Like, maybe you do get the same production out of DJ Moore and whoever else, or maybe you get some, more production, but nobody's, they gonna still be looking like, damn, my dog, though. You know what I'm saying? This shit cost me my dog, Justin Fields. Like, I really feel like the Bears are a team that needs to rely on like the continuity. Like, we got a guy that people like, cool. Let's keep that. Let's build around him. And then a couple years from now, if it don't work, then all right, cool. Nobody's mad. but you giving up on him this early is absolutely crazy to me. Like,
and then you bring up a good point too. Let's just say Justin. Let's just say this is just who Justin is, right? And he's like, inconsistent, whatever. Whatever picks you get in a Caleb trade is gonna feed nations, nigga. Like, you'll have more than enough chances to get you another fucking quarterback. So, and then you bring up a good point, Mariano. Like, there has been, first of all, when I was there last week for the Cardinals game, I have never in my 3 years of actually my entire time as a Bears fan, I never heard anybody chant for the fucking quarterback. It was audibly loud. We want Fields. I'm being in the press box. I was like, are they chanting we want Fields? It was loud. And then you got the teammates who've come out. Jaquan Brisker says, I don't know why we're having this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the guy. DJ Moore has been on the front line. He said it again today in exit interviews. They asked him on 670 to score. I think he was on with Parkins and Spiegel today. And he was like, I don't even know why we're having this conversation. This is my quarterback. This is the guy who should be here. And he was like, basically, he was saying that Lou Getsy ain't shit. And we'll get that in overtime. But he was like, I don't think that he's gonna be going anywhere. And they said, did you let Ryan pose this? He said, oh, I let him. He said he already knows, but I let him know, and I think my voice is respected. So the fans and the players feel this way. First of all, I never see fans at Hallis Hall, by the way. Because if anybody's been to Hallis Hall, it's in a real dip-off area. You have no idea that there's an NFL facility over there. But they had fans there with signs all across the entrance to get to Soldier Field, to get in Hallis Hall, and it said, we want Fields. And then Justin went over there and spent like an hour signing autographs. So I do think that, yes, they're professionals. They're millionaires. They'll get over it if they have to. But why cause a mutiny? Right. For no fucking reason, man. Right. We got Bang here. He said we're not gonna put Bang on probation because he actually did give a notice. I just was not received the way that I thought.
When I tell y'all this has been a day, this has been a day.
It's been a Monday for all of us.
It's been a very, very big Monday. So you're not on probation. Dante is in the penalty box. Today.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Bang, go ahead. What's your thoughts on everything Bears and the current? You missed my 10-minute rant while I went off about the cold reality of this team.
I really wanted to see that, but I'll keep it short because I am on hella CP time. I'm conflicted because like Mariano, I heard what you're saying as far as like the community goes, but at the end of the day, like, we are in the business of winning games. And if Caleb comes in and they win a game, they're going to be like, all right, as long as my homie over there in Atlanta doing good, like, we straight. I think the issue here is what Scott just said. We've never been in a situation where somebody has been so beloved, even shockingly, because, when Scott had sent that text, like, yo, they really chanting his name. We've never seen that, especially at the quarterback position. Even when the closest to it, and I know all of y'all ain't young enough, but the closest to it is when the Bears traded Jim McMahon to the Chargers. But at the end of the day, you had Mike Tomczak waiting in the wings, and then you got Jim Harbaugh. So even still, you was like, yo, we ready to move on. We've never seen nobody give us the highlight reels that Justin Fields has gave us. And we also know that he was dealt a bad hand. I think even the not so fan of Justin Fields know that he was dealt a bad hand. But also, this is and only thing I could think of is Gilbert Arenas. Like, when I think about this, is Gilbert Arenas in my head. When Gilbert Arenas was talking about Magic Johnson and how, well, I'm not sure if he's the greatest of all time because he went to a team that went to the playoffs. Like, he went to a team that was already cold. The Bears are a 7-10 team that should be a 10-7 team in the playoffs that has the number one pick in the draft. And this is the one draft, whether any of us believe in Caleb Williams or not. This is the one draft where you hear generational talent on the side of a quarterback and you got the number one pick. Just imagine if, one of those teams that's currently in the playoffs, like 6 or 7 seed, imagine if they had the number one pick in the draft. They'll probably be having the same conversations that we have for the most part, especially if they want to get from under like they quarterback, like Tampa Bay's in the playoffs, right? Imagine if Tampa Bay had the number 1 pick in the draft.
Hosting
You
the
don't
playoff
think
game too.
Yeah, hosting the playoff game. You don't think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be like, hey man, Baker Mayfield, thank you, but we're about to go get the rookie. And he's had a good to great year for them. So it's just, this is one of those situations that is so extremely rare. And I had to get out of my feelings and understand that we just in a situation that we probably never gonna see again. A team that's half decent, they got a quarterback that's beloved, that might be replaced because you have the number 1 pick, but you know Buddy ass got fucked over. And the only thing that I can say is that we will see if DJ Moore got a voice, because if it's anybody on that team that should be able to say, that's my quarterback and I'm gonna keep him, it's the best player on your team. That just so happens to be DJ Moore. So we'll see if he got a voice, but that voice also might be in the next regular season. He might get some passes from dude, and he be like, man, hey, I like
he like your buddy kind of good.
Yeah, you know what I just thought about. Good. You know what I've been thinking about, like while you was just talking, is the Bears do have, I don't want to say a history, but like when you talk about Patrick Mahomes, right? Like the Bears not taking Patrick Mahomes, I don't think the Bears want to go through another situation like that. So they'll risk it and take Caleb Williams, because if Caleb Williams goes somewhere else and he's cold and he's another, Patrick Mahomes type of guy, then they're gonna look back and be like, motherfucker.
Mariano, this is why I'm gonna disagree with you. I kind of agree with you, but this is why I'm gonna disagree with you. Last year's draft. The only person that I heard say, I'll take CJ Stroud with the number 1 pick is Keyshawn Johnson. Mm-hmm. Keyshawn Johnson was on TV like, nah, fam, dude too small. Like he was out here, should have been saying pause after everything he said. Like, CJ said, hey man, he's small, he too small, man. I need my quarterback big. CJ Stroud is the number 1 pick.
Wild pause,
right? Wild pause. And look who's right. But anybody that had the number 1 pick, they probably picking Bryce Young. If the Houston Texans would have actually got the trade with the Bears, they would have picked Bryce Young, and they probably would not be as successful as they were this year. What I'm saying is, the reason why I disagree with you is because I think all of us are kind of iffy on Caleb Williams for one reason or another. But what if Drake May nice?
Right.
What if Michael Penix Jr. nice?
Yeah.
What if for some reason Bo Nix is nice?
Okay.
What's going to happen? No. Hear me out. Either way it go, if the Bears pick Caleb Williams and he's not as nice as any of them niggas,
then it's still
gonna be saying is they still gonna say it.
I got you.
The Bears shouldn't think about that, because nobody thought. I sit up there and had an argument. With Scott, and we didn't talk about Patrick Mahomes. We talked about Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
nobody talked about that, man. So we all thinking like Patrick. I thought Patrick Mahomes would be an offensive coordinator like Major Applewhite by 27 years old, my G. Because nobody be successful. Name me the best quarterback out of Texas Tech since outside of Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Come on, fam. That shit is an outlier, fam. I'm not saying I was a Mitchell Trubisky fan, but that shit was an outlier. So
even with Mitch, they fucked him. Like pause. Like they fucked him because like they set him up. Like it's the circle of shit that I was just saying. Like you, first of all, John Fox didn't want Mitch. He wanted Freaky Sean, and then if he couldn't get Freaky Sean, he wanted Jamal Adams. So
I wanted Jamal Adams.
Yeah, you say fuck what your head coach want, and then you fire him. Mitch has a different coach. Like, and people talking about the double doink game, that everybody's been bringing up. Fuck you, Joe Buck, for talking about it in the middle of the game. But Mitch did his job in that game. Like I remember that game. Like Mitch did his job. All you had to do is the thing. So like it's the circle of shit, man. And so I don't envy Ryan Poles' position. We'll talk about this over time about our confidence level of what we think, of Ryan Poles as it changed in the last 24 hours. But it's Bears fans need to wake up and smell the coffee, I believe, and think about the realistic ramifications about this. This is the biggest offseason ever, man. But let's move on to today, man. It's Black Monday in the NFL. A lot of niggas got fired. We're gonna go over some of the firings that have been confirmed. Arthur Smith got fired last night. Of course, Dante out there in the Atlanta area, you know about that. Of course, YouTube Mariano. That nigga Arthur Blank didn't even wait till 12:02. 12:01, that Adam Schefter tweet came out.
Yep.
I told y'all this, and I text my homies who from Atlanta. The second they started getting their ass beat, I said, Arthur Blank is not letting that man come back to Atlanta with a job. Like, we talk about different rivalries, but like down here, they take that Saints rivalry serious.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Like, because people don't realize.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize after Katrina, a lot of those people moved to Atlanta. So, like, Atlanta has a lot of people from New Orleans who live here. So that's a very big rivalry.
Yeah.
And when they were getting their ass beat and embarrassed like that, I said, "Oh no, Arthur Blank not going for this." Like, once they started being down by double digits, I said, "Yeah, he's not coming home, bro. You can forget that."
Yeah. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
I mean,
I was thrilled. Personally, I was thrilled. The victory for me, absolutely go for a touchdown there. It was beautiful.
Shout out to my nigga Jameis.
Yeah, shout out to Jameis.
Was so mad and it was glorious. And Dennis Allen, what a way to just publicly announce that you've completely lost your locker room.
Yes,
like you're done, bud. Like you got maybe one more year in you, but he's cooked there. And shout out to Jameis Winston for stepping up and coming out and being the one saying, yeah, that's on us. He said he apologized to DA, whatever. He's like, but that was something we had to do.
Jameis is hilarious, dog. He's like the dude at your job that's training you. Like, look, man, this is how they want you to do it, but I'm gonna show you how to do this shit.
Yes, correct.
What they talking about? This is how you do it.
This is the real way to do it. James is like, yes, no disrespect to DA. DA didn't want us to do it. He's like, we made an executive decision.
He said, I mean, when the score is 41-17, like,
like, let's not forget now.
Touchdown. What's another touchdown?
Let's not forget now.
He said, we wanted to show Jamal that we appreciate him. We appreciate our
brother. That's crazy in itself. Bro had 17 touchdowns last year and didn't score one time this season.
Score one time.
It's crazy,
man.
One time. That shows you the Dan Campbell system that's much different than what they run in New Orleans. So you got Arthur Smith fired. I don't know who they're gonna go after. There's only been a couple fired. Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport have both said that they expect up to 10 coaches to be fired. But also a GM got fired, who should have got fired months ago. But Carolina Panthers GM Scott Fitterer, first of all, can we talk about this nigga should never get a job again? Like, if you look at the shit that he's done in his tenure, first of all, I don't even remember what he traded Christian McCaffrey for. I have no idea what they actually got back compensation wise. So you get rid of Christian McCaffrey. You give up everything to get Bryce Young. When you should have obviously looked like you should have got CJ Stroud. Like CJ Stroud went number 2. And remember, everybody was like, oh, remember the words we hearing last year? Oh, Bryce Young, he's the basketball Steph Curry. And that just goes into draft analysts. Drafting quarterbacks is a toss-up. It's like what Bang said about, with Caleb Williams. They're comparing this nigga to Jesus. We don't know who these guys are going to be when they play, because as nice as CJ is now, CJ was nice in Ohio State, but I don't think anybody saw this, and especially not in year one. So you go over, you didn't get CJ Stroud, and then you get Bryce Young. You put him in a shitty position with a shitty coach and a shitty offensive coordinator, and then not only do you trade the pick to get Bryce Young, you include DJ Moore. Like, they just threw that nigga in there. Like he's not fucking DJ Moore. Like, this nigga, and DJ Moore even said in his exit interview today, he said, I think I had something to do with him getting fired. I hope he lands on his feet. DJ Moore is DJ Moore. Just being around DJ is funny as shit because he says in such a polite way, but he means what the fuck he be saying. And so that's what made it funny. But on top of that, you give Ryan Poles a get out of jail free card. Okay, let's just say that Justin don't work out here. I'll give you Caleb Williams, which is the situation that the Bears are in now. So he should have been fired months ago. So then you got that. So he got fired. Riverboat Ron Rivera, he got fired. Magic Johnson, look, I will say this from being in Los Angeles, do not get Magic Smile fucked up. I don't know. Might need to go back to his playing days. Magic is a killer, okay? He does not like to lose. And the way the Commanders was losing, we knew change was going to happen.
Yeah.
Riverboat Ron is out of there. They brought fucking Bob Myers.
Bob Myers, dog.
The fucking Golden State Warriors brought Bob Myers in. They put a committee, and they're going to be trying to see who's going to be the next guy. And this is something the Bang has been talking about for weeks about look out for the Commanders. Look out for the Commanders. Commanders have the number 2 pick. Caleb's from the DC area. That's going to be somebody that you're going to have to pay attention to, man. So if you look at all these firings and, of course, a hiring and Bob Myers.
Wait a minute. I got an update on that. I got an update on the now. I don't know how true this is, but I am in, I used to live out in the area. So I got word that he don't want to be out there either. So I don't think he want to be in Chicago. I don't think he want to get back home. So let's just say that if the Bears do trade the pick, I will not be surprised if it is a team probably in a warm weather climate that may do whatever they need to do to get that number 1 pick. Because I just got a feeling that Buddy has don't want to be.
Who's going to get with the Bears? Because the Bears also need to get Marvin Harrison or at least Malik Neighbors. Who's going to be in that top 5? Who's a warm city?
Well, it ain't going to be the top 5, but with how deep this draft is, I know we keep talking about the Falcons trading for Justin, but again, Arthur Blank wants to win now. Like, don't be surprised if he don't call about the number 1 pick as well. Like,
what pick
the team?
The Falcons got?
They got 9. They 1 pick in front of us.
Williams translates
no,
to
the Bears have 9
right
the
now.
Bears have 9.
They got 8. I mean,
the Bears
got
got 8
with the Falcons. Yeah, the Bears are 8.
Okay.
The Falcons, when you look at their struggles, 9 out of 10 times it points to the quarterback position.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not saying a rookie quarterback is going to come in and automatically win with this team, but I'm saying they don't have anybody at quarterback. You can't trust Taylor.
Would you trust Justin Fields as quarterback in Atlanta over rookie Caleb Williams?
It depends who the coach now. It depends who the coach.
Yeah, it depends on the coach. But I think the two teams that you got to watch out for is the Raiders.
Definitely.
I do think you have to watch out for the Raiders, but I also think you need to watch out for the Giants too, because while I think he wants to be in a warm weather climate, he wouldn't mind also being in the number 1 market in the United States. It would have been the Rams if the Rams didn't actually become good.
I think the Giants make sense. I think the Giants make sense too because, like, you got to remember, like, Daniel Jones is not their guy. Dayball and Shane he's not their guy. So, like, they don't really have anything to lose, And then he helped them out basically by getting hurt like that. He, towards ACL, he already had the neck injury, got a bunch of injuries piling up, and they come into this draft like, look, we got the picks. We made the Leonard Williams trade. We got the pick from Seattle. They started, losing this shit. So that pick is like I think it's 39 or 38, something like that. So we got 2 second-round picks. We got the number 6 pick. I wouldn't be surprised if we made a call. You know what I mean? Whether or not the Bears want what we could send them or not. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a call. Like, shit, we need our guy. Give us a chance to get our guy in our system from day one, and let's see what the fuck we can do from here. Because we can get rid of Daniel Jones after next season, and that'll be that. So I wouldn't be shocked.
Definitely, bro. And another thing, I know we talked about the Panthers, and it's easy to shit on them, but I'm gonna say this: the reason I don't think he should be fired is because a lot of those moves he made was David Tepper, like 100%. Like, they were the owner overstepping and telling him, "Nah, fuck what you want to do this." Like, Frank Reich basically said, "Yo, we wanted CJ. Like, we wanted CJ. He told us to take Bryce." Like, so when you have someone who is pretty much being used as a scapegoat. I kind of feel bad for him. So I think, DJ was probably, being a little bit sarcastic, but he probably did. Like, I hope bro land on his feet, because if I get a job and then I get handcuffed, and then when everything goes wrong and don't pan out, you just blame me. That's fucked up. But I mean, that's the game they play. So I think with him, I think that was kind of messed up. Riverboat Ron, it was time. The writing was on the wall for a few years of Ron Rivera, and we really seen a lot of these. I don't like saying dinosaurs. I know old niggas get offended, but we seen a lot of these older people from the old generation being removed, being changed. Speaking of the Falcons, bro, Belichick, don't be surprised if they reach out. Just so
you know what? I think they're gonna reach out, but remember what I told y'all a couple of weeks ago, like one of our first couple of episodes. Like, it also came out that Belichick's like, yo, somebody could come in and be the GM. I'm cool. I think that's all he needs to do in order for Kraft to be like, you know what, I think it's like one more year on the contract. I think he will be willing to give him one more year on the contract and try to fix this if he gives up control for personnel. So I think that's an interesting look too, that he actually said,
yeah,
I'm cool with that.
I think too, and before we move on to the next topic, it's something to me where like, yeah, the Bears are going to get a lot of calls. The Bears are going to get a lot of calls, and Ryan Poles can really just sit back and wait for the biggest offer. I don't really know, which way he's going to go. We'll talk about that on OT a little bit more, but the offers are going to be there, and I do think that for the ransom that they got for Bryce Young, pretty much, it's going to be even bigger because if everybody feels this way about Caleb Williams being generational, no matter what my eyes tell me that he's not, because I watched every quarter damn near of USC football this year. None of them quarters told me generational, but there's going to be offers there, man. So it's something where of course we're going to wait long, but I think after the combine, this shit's really going to get shaken. Last year, the pick got traded on March 10th, I think it was. And I think it's going to be around the same time that either Justin's traded or the pick is traded, because whoever is going, these teams are going to want to know who's drafting, so they can at least have a month and a half of actual draft process to go through. So it's going to be a monster thing that we'll be talking about on this show a lot going forward, man. But this weekend, we've got super wild card weekend in the NFL. And a lot of good games. We talked about a little bit with our guest Chuck English, man, of some of the schedule. We'll have a full breakdown of that on the Friday show. And also on Friday will be the return of Cousin Dan. That's going to be very interesting to see what Dan thinks about everything that's been going on. I had
to work on Friday.
I had a holiday edition of Cousin Dan. People be asking like, oh, that's your real cousin? Yes. What do you think? I just came up with the name, nigga? Like, yeah, this is my actual blood cousin. And we had an episode of that at Christmas. That was like, nigga, I'm way too drunk for this. But he'll be back on Friday to talk about that.
I'm about to say, I'm definitely not getting out of probation because I'm going to have to do this from my hotel room in Vegas on Friday.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We there, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you feel me? We will be live. We will be on, but I got you.
Yeah, we'll put back on the Dante's on probation. Got back on the feed. Then he's like, I'm being Vegas, nigga. But let's get into the actual storylines. Got a couple storylines heading into this. We're going a little bit longer today than we usually, because first, we had a lot of mixed brothers. We're gonna talk about this, and then we're gonna give our picks the national championship game, and that'll be it. And then we'll do overtime. That will be on Patreon. Because I got out of here because I actually got to do a Clippers game tonight with the Clippers and the Suns. But I came on this show a couple weeks ago, and I said, do not sleep on the Buffalo Bills. Everybody on this panel laughed at me. Everybody's like, Josh Allen this, Josh Allen that. Well, who's laughing now, nigga? AFC East champions once again. They came and took the victory away from Tua Uso, who probably doesn't need to be a quarterback any longer, and just go to the fucking WWE and join the rest of them niggas, because it is over, okay? They went in there, and I know Courtney's going to like, he threw 2 picks. He threw 2 touchdowns, though. It comes with the Josh Allen experience, okay?
That's crazy.
It comes with the Josh Allen experience.
You know what's even crazier, though, Courtney? Scott didn't tell y'all that he did Josh Allen's ancestry and found out he wasn't black, so he could root for him now. Because before, he thought Josh Allen was a little... You don't know Scott's history with black quarterbacks. The guy doesn't like him. Doesn't like him.
Because I said one thing about Lamar Jackson.
Doesn't like him, doesn't trust him.
Give Mari the floor. Give Mari the floor.
Listen, you remember that scene in Scarface when he said, I never like him, I never trust him. That's Scott with any black quarterback, right? I don't know how long ago this was, Scott. You remember we had this conversation when I said, damn, bro, is Josh Allen mixed or something? Is he black? Because you don't really fuck with Josh. And then when I heard you praising him, I said, oh, shit. He did the lineage and was like, oh, no, this is a purebred guy, so y'all can fuck with him. So I'm just letting you know now, that's what's crazier than him talking about the Josh Allen experience and all. Just understand the history of it. That's all.
Look, man, I have been wrongfully accused of this for the last 6 years since this network started. I don't even remember who. I don't know if it was Maury or Pierce. Shout out my man Chops, because Chops was on the episode with us years ago. And Chops was like, oh, I know I can't say this as a white person, but I feel like you don't like black quarterbacks. And it just kind of became a life of its own, which is cap, because I have a black quarterback. I love Patrick Mahomes. I like Jalen Hurts. I don't even dislike Lamar, but I feel like I defend myself with
You
this
see what he just
all
did?
the goddamn time.
I got black
What I
friends. You see what he just did to us? Did y'all see that?
Hey man, look, man. We getting off topic, man. Look, Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills were 6-6 a couple weeks ago. AFC East champions. They are the second seed in the AFC. They went from damn near missing the playoffs to being the second seed. And I'm gonna put it like this right now. Am I saying they're gonna win the AFC? I'm not really. No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that then. I feel like this year, the NFL, well, the AFC more than anything, is going to be a toss-up. Because I do really believe that not New Orleans, but San Francisco is just going to run through the NFC. I truly believe that. I think the AFC is going to be a little toss-up. And I think now that nobody is really expecting that much from the Bills, they have an opportunity to go over here and run up and actually have a chance to get to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are weakened. The Chiefs are not the team that they have been. They're not the team that won a championship last year. As great as the Ravens have been, the Ravens are great, and Lamar has shut me up. Lamar has been it's actually been passing the ball very well. They've been Zay Flowers, who I wanted on the Bears, which has been great. Odell, we called him washed a couple episodes ago. He's been showing some light, and that defense has been incredible. One thing about Bears fans and the Bears, we always say that everybody acts like the players we gas up are only good till they go to another team. Roquan has been playing this way since when he was in Chicago. Now you're on a good team. Niggas is acting like he's generational. We said he was a top linebacker last year. We get looks. But the way they're doing things in Baltimore, they're great. They're going to have home field advantage. They have a good shot too. But I would not sleep on the Buffalo Bills. I think that's a team that can be very, very deadly. And there's any chance for them to get it done, I think this is the year. I see Courtney's been shaking her head since I brought this up in the chat last night. So I'm going to give the floor to you.
Again, my thing is about the Bills is that, like we said about Trevor Lawrence, it begins and ends with the quarterback position. 2 touchdowns, fantastic. You can't throw 2 turnovers. You can't throw 2 interceptions. You can't do that. It happens every year. I said it. I think the first show we ever did, I said, when are we going to have the smoke for Josh Allen and how the fact that man, for whatever reason, cannot advance past the divisional round. I think that's where the show ends for the Buffalo Bills this year. Again, another season of mediocrity. And hopefully we sit down and finally have a conversation about who the real problem is. And it's the guy who was sitting up there talking about 9/11.
Bang, I'm going to go to you because you also laughed at me when I brought the Bills. So the floor is yours.
I didn't laugh at you, fam. Don't say I laughed at you. I just was like, I don't know. And honestly, man, you saw that interception that he threw, the second one that he threw, that was one of the worst shits that I've seen. He just tried to run out of bounds and just threw that shit up like my son tried to throw a ball at somebody's head. So they made it to the playoffs. They should have made it to the playoffs. We expected them to make it to the playoffs. They should have won the division. I think that's where it stops, though.
Well, before I give this to Tamari, I will say this. We don't have any love for gunslingers anymore. What happened to not having love for gunslingers?
I got love for gunslingers, but that interception is ass through.
Automatic, and he's just fucking shitting that shit in the air. That's the Josh Allen experience.
This is what I say about interceptions.
Rico, bro, from Napoleon Dynamite.
You know who he is? As much as we get caught up in he plays like a black quarterback jokes, Josh Allen is Brett Favre, bro. Like he's an old school gunslinger. You're gonna get 2 picks, you're gonna get 3 touchdowns. It's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be a what the fuck did you just do game, bro. I mean, we all remember games where Brett would be rolling right, sling that bitch 50 yards to the left, interception, and we like, why the hell did he do that? But then the Packers will win that game, and we like, that's Brett Favre. That's what he does. That's Josh Allen.
This is my thing with gunslingers, not just Josh Allen. If you're going to give me, he threw 18 picks this year. If you're going to throw 18 picks, he gave you 4,300 yards, 29 touchdowns passing, and he gave you another 15 running. You can give me that amount of production, I can forgive some of these interceptions. Me and Dante had this conversation years ago about Jameis Winston. I said my only issue with Jameis is he don't bring them interceptions under 20. Jameis will give you 35 touchdowns, but he also give you about 22 picks. If Jameis brought that to Josh Allen pick range, he'd be in that same conversation. So yes, I'm not absolving the picks. I just shitted on Trevor Lawrence about his picks. But Trevor Lawrence gave you 21 touchdowns. He didn't give you the offensive production. He don't run the ball like Josh Allen. So I kind of feel like you gotta live and die, just like fucking Brett Favre. Brett Favre will throw you a playoff game. We've seen it against Maurice Giants in 2007. That pick was hilarious. He used to do that shit all the time.
Yeah,
I appreciate him.
Moments he was doing.
Is that like you can have 3 touchdowns, but like you can't have interceptions like that against a team like the Ravens, like that actually have a legit defense and will take that shit back on you.
Yeah. Shout out to Gustavo in the chat. He just said completely fuck. We talking about, did y'all see Jake Brown and his girlfriend? So I do know that obviously you're a milk merchant. I did see that. But we are too close to Black History Month to me to be commenting on that.
Right? Yeah. a white woman dressed like a speed skater, you know.
Somebody leave me up.
That's a key. Hey, justice for my wag girlies, okay? We're tired. Well, we're not about
Let me go Google this.
Okay, we're gonna
we are too close to Black History. Dr. King Day.
My personal aesthetic.
Dr. King Day is in a week.
She had that shit on though.
He had it on Dr. King Day. We will not be talking about things from Babylon for the next week on this show.
I'm about to go search though.
But Mark, what you think about the Josh Allen conversation and the Bills in general?
Yeah, I fuck with Josh Allen, bro. That's my guy. I like him. I'm rooting for Big Griselda to win it this year. I think also like they kind of, like you said, people were sleeping on him. I think that they got the best chance. You know, this is to me, this would be their best chance to win it all, or at least get to the Super Bowl, because you said, you know, the Chiefs aren't looking like the Chiefs that we know. The Bills are fake, like sneaking up on people kind of now, because it's like they was looking at them like, nah, they ain't gonna be shit. They might not even make it, but now they got a chance. So I'm rooting for them. I don't think that their season stops at the divisional round. I think they're going. If you ask me right now today, I think they're going all the way. Fuck it.
You say you think they're going, and that's because now shout out to them, man. But let's move on. Let's talk about CJ Stroud, man. CJ Stroud and them Houston Texans. Yeah. Big shout out to D'Amico Ryans, man. I think this year you have a lot of coaches who could be coach of the year. I think it's gonna come down to D'Amico Ryans and honestly Kevin Stefanski for the job he did with the Cleveland Browns. Them niggas had like 4 different quarterbacks. They done brought on the fountain of youth with Joe Flacco. Everything has been pretty good for them. So, with CJ Stroud, first year getting to the playoffs and the way he's done, how do you think that, this game fares? Because I feel like this is a game as good as Cleveland has been this season. That defense has been incredible. CJ can still do this because Flacco is still old. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go to Bang first. But what's your opinion on, the Texas chances this week?
First of all, shouts out to Jake Browning.
Yeah, you saw it.
Oh, yeah.
She had that shit on.
I did not know. I think they got a puncher's chance, man. As long as you got a top flight QB, you got a puncher's chance, and their defense ain't bad at all. So I think they got a shot, man. Let's see how the inexperience or the youthful exuberance, that somebody's gonna say, when they're commentating the game. Let's see how that goes. But when you're looking at a team like the Texans, who CJ's right, nobody expected this. Nobody expected the Texans to be in the playoffs. Nobody expected CJ to be what he is right now. They playing with house money. So being that they playing with house money, I think the team that they remind me of, all right, and I'm not saying that this is gonna happen, but the team they remind me of is the Jacksonville Jaguars team that ended up going to the AFC Championship game that year. They ended up losing. I forgot who they lost to.
Talking about Jalen Ramsey?
No. I'm talking about Mark Brunell. I'm talking about when they came in
and we gonna win that bitch. And we gonna win that bitch.
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about. Hey, man, we're about to go up against the Buffalo Bills, Bruce Smith and them, and everybody not giving us a chance. And then next thing you know, we in the AFC Championship game. That's who that team reminds me of. Not saying they're going to get there, but I would not be surprised if a team like that, who playing with house money, ends up being in the AFC Championship game.
We're going to get through these next two topics before we get up out of here, man. Of course, if you want to see overtime, you need to go out here and you need to follow the Patreon, man. Patreon.com/Barbers Chat Network. So you can check out everything that we got going on there. We're going to get a little more into our Bears conversation. We're going to have a little bit of NBA because Draymond Green got a lot of goddamn nerve. We're going to talk about that in there, man. This one I'm going to give real quick to Mariano, then we'll go to Courtney. I know, Mario, you got to get up out of here. It's put up a shut up time for the NFC East. The NFC East has two representatives in the playoffs this year. The Cowboys won the division last night, and the Philadelphia Eagles are limping into the playoffs, man. As a fellow NFC Easter, what's your opinion on these two teams? It kind of feels like if they don't get it done this year, especially the Cowboys, there might be some changes.
Yeah, I think that if I'm looking at who got the best chance, I would probably say the Cowboys do, because like every year the Cowboys look like a complete team, right? Like the past couple of years we looked at them, beginning of the season is, as long as they can do X, Y, Z, they'll, whatever. They're going to win a lot of games. They're going to beat a lot of bad teams. They're going to look pedestrian against good teams at times. It's the same shit every year. I do think if they don't get it done this year, it's going to be like, shut the fuck up. Like, please, because y'all got it. Y'all got CeeDee Lamb that's fucking first in everything, and Dak is looking good, but the Eagles, I've never been really too crazy about the Eagles. I do like Jalen Hurts. I do fuck with him. But the Cowboys, for me, if you ask me my pick in these playoffs, like, coming out of our division, I'm going to say the Cowboys, because the Eagles, it look like you can rattle them too quick, bro. I don't give a fuck what's going on. You're not supposed to lose that game to those Giants, bro. You're not. Those Giants went out there yesterday.
Blown out. Wasn't even close.
Pick. Yeah, bro, I'm talking about getting smoked, smoked 24-0 at half, I think it was, or some shit like that. It was crazy because I'm looking at it and I'm texting one of my homies, my man Justin. We both Giants fans, and I'm looking at it like damn, bro. The only good thing about it, well, it was a win-win for us because we couldn't drop any lower than 6, in the draft, and we was beating the shit out of the Eagles. And I'm like, yo, bro, the Eagles supposed to make a statement. They supposed to have a third stringers in on us, destroying it. They going into the playoffs, bro. Like that's not a good sign at all for me. You know what I'm saying? Listening to the shit from AJ Brown and like the guys on that team, it just seems like they're kind of, I don't know. I trust the this is gonna be a very wild statement. 2024 is crazy. I trust the Cowboys more. Can't believe I just said that shit.
Can't believe you just said
crazy. Yeah, that sounds crazy.
Maury, man, I know you got to get up out of here, man. Let them know they get in tune with you, bro.
Man, listen, dog. 2024, man, it's still me, same number, same nigga, man. On Instagram, Mariano Bivens. On Twitter, at Mariano, 2 N's, 2 O's. Like I tell your she asked me for money. I know it's holiday season just was over with, man. Give me some time, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'll holler at you in a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, man. It's always hilarious. I love when Maury does the shout outs, man. That shit's always funny. But
my
bro,
dog.
we would get up with you, my G.
Go blue, man. Big blue.
Yes, sir. Courtney, you are the resident Cowboy hater on here. I want to, when you call yourself a Cowboy hater, you just don't like Dak.
No. I'm a Cowboy hater. I've always
been a Cowboy hater. Well, tell me how you feel about.
Especially, I am now a Cowboy hater, just because I am surrounded by them, and I am like fully immersed in everything that is Cowboy culture, and I can't stand it. It's terrible.
What do you? I know it's put up a shut up time. Which one do you have?
Yeah, for sure. If I'm being just like, again, I told y'all that I adopted the Eagles as from a fan perspective last season, actually, around Christmas time, because I went to the game on Christmas Eve and I had a great time. I was like, oh yeah, this is my team now. No, but that being said, the Eagles, even this season, never really. There was never a point where I was like, oh yeah, this is the team. I think that time I recognized it was probably when they lost to the Jets. What was that week? Like week 4, week 5? I can't. No.
Yeah.
It was like week 4, week 5.
It was early. I think it was like week 4. Yeah.
Yeah. When they lost to the Jets, that's when I was like, that's you start seeing those flashes of them losing their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator to Arizona and Indy. I think, like Mari said, I think if you're the Cowboys, you have to win this season. You are in prime position to win this season. If you don't, I really don't want to hear anything from them ever again. This defense is the best defense that they've had in years. Even, no offense, without Trayvon Diggs, like that sucks that he's hurt and everything. If he were not hurt, this team, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It's definitely shaping up to be 49ers Cowboys NFC Championship game. I don't like the Eagles defense at all. And honestly, I think if the Eagles, this might be a hot take.
Hold on. I know this nigga is not popping the bottle. I was like,
I forgot my shit wasn't on mute.
I was wondering what that was.
I thought somebody fell.
Hey man, this nigga's on triple probate. This nigga on here celebrating and shit.
Popping champagne like you want to stop.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, I know that sound.
I saw Scott's face. I said, he definitely about to say something.
I dead ass thought something fell. Like, nah, I ain't say no bottle.
I was like, no,
Somebody
that's
fell.
not my house, man. Let's go to our last thing, and we're gonna wrap this up.
I didn't get my hot take off real quick.
Oh, my fault. My fault.
No, real quick. Last second. My hot take is that if the Eagles get embarrassed, like say they fucking lose to the Bucks, Nick Sirianni's gone. Easily. That's my hot take.
That is a hot take right there.
Remember when Josina Anderson said that it would be it's a surprise team that's talking about, you know, have an issue with the coach or whatever. And the first team I thought of was
Philadelphia.
The Eagles.
Yep.
So hey, there's some smoke.
2-5 after that little fucking stupid tantrum that he threw in Kansas City. Oh, I don't hear you laughing now, Chiefs fans. 2-5.
Jalen Hurts, man, I love you, but stop talking IG captions, my G. It's getting tired. It's getting tired.
Yeah.
Last storyline before this, then we'll quickly give our picks and we'll wrap this up. Tyreek Hill. Everybody was talking about Chiefs Dolphins earlier this season. That was in Germany, the game that got the Bears boosted up out of there, and I was very disappointed because I wanted to go to Germany instead of being in fucking Kansas City for the second time in fucking 6 months. But a lot of people are like, it's a good matchup, but we don't get to see Tyreek Hill go to Kansas City. Well, like I said in the first segment with Chuck English, the fucking script writers of the NFL, round of applause. We already getting Stafford going to Detroit. Now we got Tyreek Hill going to Kansas City, man. It's going to be brittle cold out there. It's going to be a little snow. The champions, their back is against the wall. The Dolphins are crawling to the playoffs. Bang, what do you think about this storyline and what you're going to be looking for on Sunday? Of course, we'll do picks and full preview on Friday. What's just your initial reaction to this matchup?
Lord Jesus. It's fire. I mean, when you look at the playoffs, right? And when you look at all of the matchups and stuff like that, this is to me the clear definition of everything from winner could possibly go to winner could possibly just blow up. And I don't want to get into any postseason predictions just yet because I'm still a bit nervous. But I just think that as we get into this season, this is literally going to be. I believe in you. I think it was the last show we had when you yelled at me, like basically, like, "Yo, anything can happen in this postseason." I think that's where we at. Wait a minute, damn, Dante. You can see me? Wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah, nigga, we can see you. No, y'all can see me? Yeah, but
they just threw me all the way off.
What is happening?
Yo, G, that just threw me all the way off.
I didn't know y'all could see me.
First off, you think you're muted. Now you don't know that you turned your camera off.
No, he didn't know that Bang had administrative access, so he can see what's going on.
Okay, so yeah.
I got administrative access now. This nigga over here like,
I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Let me drink some more.
I lost all my train of thought.
What are we doing?
I just lost all my train of thought. I'm just all I'm saying is that with all of these games, including this one, man, like anything may happen. This is the anything can happen in the WWF type of postseason. So that's all I got. I just need to be like Dante now.
No, you don't need to be like Dante because Dante
really
is
don't.
on
Dante
probation.
is on probation.
As it says, Dante is on probation.
It is 5:30 on the
thought
Monday. You don't need to be like me.
I thought I was doing too much with this damn Fiji fan.
The sun is
Cheers,
still
look
out.
at us being socially responsible.
It is a
Right, look at
Monday,
us.
nigga.
Water,
It is
hydro
a
flask,
Monday.
you know.
Most people are back in the
Health is
office this
wealth.
week, and this nigga is drinking champagne. Anyway, let's give our picks to the game, and we gonna get up out of here, man. Me, Bang, and Dante will be doing. I'm not gonna hold you overtime. Of course, you can see the information right there. Yes, we will be. We will be. And we damn sure doing it today. And, and so, but national championship game, Michigan, Washington. I will be watching parts of it because I gotta go to Staples Center, show my face. I ain't done a Clippers game in about 2 months because I've been finishing up for this whack ass football team we cover. I'm gonna go with Washington, and I know everything Chuck said in the opening. Chuck gave some good reasons for why we should go for Michigan. Defense is great. Running game, they can muddy the game up. If they make this an ugly game, they make them play Michigan football like the way they made Alabama play last week, then I feel like this will give them a chance to win. The reason why I just love that Washington offense is too much. The reason I picked Washington and when we did our picks for the playoffs, because I believe in the quarterback. I believe in Michael Penix Jr. And I think this is the playoff run that's probably going to boost his draft stock a little bit. Of course, he can help himself more in the combine and things like that. But I just feel like this is his moment. I do think it won't be as high of a scoring game as last week because his defense is better. And I do think there'll be opportunities for Michigan to score because Washington's defense isn't that damn good. But I just believe in them better. I believe in Michael Penix more than I believe in J.J. McCarthy. And that's ultimately where I go with it. Courtney, you say you're not watching. Give us some good recommendations.
So again, if anyone has any movie recommendations for your girls,
I got one for you. We 3 weeks away from Black History Month. Watch Rustin on Netflix.
I thought you were going to tell me to watch Roots. I thought
no. Matter of fact, thank you for the summer sessions topic. Tomorrow, Bang, you gonna hear my Roots story on summer sessions tomorrow. I got a story about the first time I saw Roots. And I was laughing in front of company, and I shouldn't have been doing that. But we'll talk about that tomorrow on Summer Sessions.
Roots story.
Thank you, Courtney, for the reminder.
I would love to say that Washington is going to win because I really am a fan of Michael Penix Jr. But I just, like I said it earlier, I think that the team that, regardless of what team was coming out of that side of the bracket, the 1 seed or the 4 seed was going to win the game. And I think ultimately Michigan's defense here is the difference maker. Regardless of JJ McCarthy's performance, I do think I do think he's not the quarterback that Michael Penix is. But yeah, I got Washington, or Michigan, I should say, winning by 10 points.
Dante, what you want with this?
31-21. I don't think it hits the over, which is 55.5 for our degenerate gambling viewers, with Michigan favored.
I wish Mike was here to give the picks.
Yeah, I definitely I'm gonna take the under on that as well. But I got Michigan. I think Harbaugh, he's gone there and he's fulfilled his duties. He's gonna bring a national championship to Michigan. Then he's gonna go back to the NFL and try to win a Super Bowl. So I think this is the perfect way for him to go out. It's like a storybook ending and shit people love to talk about. But no, I think Michigan takes care of business tonight. I like Michael Penix Jr. a lot. I like those receivers. It was a good story. It's sad that the Pac-12 is no more because I think as
Pac-12 football.
Yeah, but I think as we go on with college football and more money gets poured into TV deals and things like that, those old rivalries and those old underdog stories, that shit is there. Like, it's gonna be the same powerful schools over and over. So this is one of those. This was a great story, but I think this is where it stops for Washington. So I got Michigan by. It won't hit the over, but I got Michigan by 13. Like, it's not gonna be a close game.
Bang, what you got?
As a Michigan Wolverine fan, I'm definitely going to be going with the Michigan Wolverines, but I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm not worried, because if I wasn't a Michigan Wolverine fan, I actually would probably be not rooting for Washington, but having the feeling that Washington is probably going to win this. I think all of the pressure is on Michigan because you got to close out. And with all of the issues and controversy and all of that stuff, you definitely got to close this out or everything that you did for all that stuff of supporting Jim Harbaugh and all of that stuff, it was all for nothing. And I think Michael Penix Jr. is really not only playing for a national championship, but he's playing to get ahead of J.J. McCarthy in the draft for draft stock. So this is the battle not only for the national championship, but it's also the battle for the fake fourth quarterback to be selected in the NFL draft by the Atlanta Falcons. My prediction is whoever win this game is probably going to be drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. So
the natural fit would be Michael Penix Jr.
The natural fit would be pause. That's crazy. The natural fit.
Natural fit was nuts. Natural. That's low key.
Yeah, I was gonna let it slide because it was her, but
I'm talking about for me because I repeated the natural fit for Michael Penix Jr. Oh, damn, pause. All that. The best place for him is Atlanta, but if he shits the bed, he's gonna fuck around and be playing us twice a year. So
yeah, a quarterback who wears a quarterback who wears a do-rag is a perfect fit for Atlanta. So this would be a good spot for bro.
Definitely, man.
So go blue.
Go blue for them. I'll only be seeing parts of this game, but I'm gonna try to watch it. If the Staples Center Wi-Fi don't be fucking up today, I should be able to watch the entire game because I'm not going in that small ass meeting room. I don't know what the fuck they did reconstruction wise at Staples Center, but they made that motherfucker used to be big. Now that motherfucker like one of them office rooms. So I don't know what the fuck is going on over there, but hopefully I'll be watching KD versus Kawhi. I don't know if KD's playing tonight, but we'll see if that's gonna happen. But that's all we got for y'all today on I'm Not Gonna Hold You. I'm gonna give a shout out to Courtney. Courtney's the MVP today for helping me out because we had a couple technical difficulties today, but it's all good. We wrote the ship. But let's not forget Dante is still on probation. Just want to let y'all keep knowing he is still on probation.
It is what it is.
I'm not drinking out of the bottle. That's crazy.
It is what it is.
What a way to start the year, dog.
My man to turn into legit wino. Fucking, I'm on probation.
It is what it is. Like I said, we're gonna do I'm Not Gonna Hold You overtime now. I'm gonna have that up on the Patreon right away. I'm gonna try to upload that before I get up out of here. Mikey will be my co-host on I'm Not Gonna Hold You halftime on Wednesday, which is the strictly Patreon show. So if you want to check all that, I would definitely know he's got some Bears opinions because he hasn't been speaking in a couple weeks, but he'll be on there. We'll be back Friday. I'm gonna probably figure out the time with that. Might be an hour early because I want to get it a little early on Friday, so y'all can go out there and enjoy y'all weekend. For all of my co-hosts who live on Central and Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes we be getting done and it be damn near 10 out y'all way. So we're gonna figure that out. But Cousin Dan Fridays, we back on Friday. To follow us on Twitter at BarberChairScott, at OctoberZoneTay, at 1-800-CALLER-BRO, and at JR Bang. Follow the Barbers Chair Network at Barbers Chair Net. Follow HMB Media. And y'all have a good day. Enjoy tonight's game, man. We up out of here.